Yeah, I know what type of time I'm on when I step in the scene, man. Had them bottles ready, had them sparkles ready. It's gonna be a good night. Last time around, it was different. Somebody tell them pay attention, nigga.
Welcome to this brand new episode of Another Shit King Podcast. Your boy John, my co-host Brian, we are here. So, we was gonna start off with one thing, but we have other things to start off with. The guy who just keeps on giving, I guess all the promotion, they got the Murder Inc. documentary going on right now on BET. I think they're doing an episode every week. I think it's a 5-part documentary. I think it's at part 2 or 3, or part 3 was just recently released. But he's been doing his press run and he had the June Stamp interview, and he was saying some things about Ashanti. But the documentary's here and just adds more to the stuff. So he talks about the first time he kissed Ashanti. He think he's doing too much, telling his truth, or better off left unsaid.
I think the answer that I'm gonna give you, Johnny, you're gonna be like, that's not the answer you was expecting from me.
Okay.
I don't see nothing wrong with him telling the story with Ashanti.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and let me explain why. Yeah. Girls do it all the time, right? Superhead did it. She wrote a whole book. She went into details of who she gave head to and all this other shit. I feel like why when he does it, we looking at him like he's wrong. When women all around try to sell books of their sex life, women and men go and buy the book, right? If they about to I think Brittany Renner is gonna do a book about who she was.
I think she did a book.
Oh yeah, she did. I think if people went and bought it, why is it disgusting when Irv does it? Even if it was 20 years ago, Superhead writes about stories of Lil Wayne that happened years and years ago. And we buy it, we want to hear it, we want to know what happened. But when it's Irv, because of Ashanti, we don't I think we looking down on him. It doesn't. But Johnny, he's just telling his story.
No. I was gonna say, but I think it's a little more than just being Ashanti. I think it's just when men decide to speak. You know what I'm trying to say? I think it's a little more frowned upon.
It's double standards. Right, but again, I don't think I'm calling him names and stuff like that. I personally don't think it's necessary. He's just telling his story. Unfortunately, it's with Ashanti.
No, I definitely understand that, but I feel like also what plays a part of it is the double standard part is the man telling his side. Usually, when men speak on things like this, to most is considered unmanly or whatnot. Men's supposed to keep it, don't keep it to themselves. Not supposed to speak on stuff like this.
I think that's a little dumb because guys talk among themselves, right? And it's not. And I told you this when we talked about him last week. I also told you, when I found out about him and Ashanti, it wasn't through Irv, it was through his wife on Growing Up Hip Hop on WeTV.
And you know what's crazy, Brie? I was on YouTube, right? And remember how you were talking about that they had the show? Why a clip from that show popped up on my YouTube recommendations? I legit watched the clip. It was like a clip of him and Ja Rule in the studio. Yeah. At the end of the clip, it said like, it was Gotti's Way. That was the name of the show.
Yeah.
The clip popped up on my YouTube. I was like, that's crazy how it popped up on my recommendations after we had that conversation.
Right, but no, not that show. She didn't talk about Ashanti on that particular show. Growing Up Hip Hop, New York, she talked about it, and she finally said. So when I found out about Ashanti and him, it wasn't even through Gotti. It was through his ex-wife, who said it on the show. But either way, what I'm saying to you is, I feel like it's his story, and whether it's frowned upon or whether it's to me, how could it be frowned upon? It's his story. It's his life.
The man's not supposed to be revealing these details.
But men have revealed these details.
Yeah, of course.
When 50 told everybody that Vivica Fox ate his ass, No, we didn't. We didn't get upset. We didn't say that was disgusting. We didn't like go crazy like we doing for Irv. And if you remember, he was saying like things. She was like freaky. He was going into depth about their sex life, and I don't think Irv is going into depth. I just think he's telling how it started and how it ended and what went wrong to him and how he feel like she did him dirty. You get what I'm saying to you?
No, I'm trying to add more to why you're saying like people feel a way about Irv.
I think it's just the way the Irv talks. So Irv is a very aggressive person. So it makes right. But I don't think it's fair. I think he's allowed to tell his story. I think it doesn't matter if it happened 15 years ago, if it happened 20 years ago, it's his story. And he's allowed to tell it. To me, he's allowed to tell it.
Yeah, but I think it's just his delivery just hasn't been the best. So it's like creating resentment. Also, like you said, I feel like it depends, like, according to like how the masses want to like judge or put some stuff to it. I feel like it depends on like what you speak on and how you speak on is when they decide. Oh,
right, but he's not speaking on this. He's not speaking on this on his Twitter or his Facebook. He is in interviews doing these questions, promoting his documentary, right?
Well, yeah, I think that's a clip from the documentary. When he said he kissed her, that was a clip from the documentary.
Right, but it's from his documentary. It's him sitting down being interviewed. It's not him just going around just saying anything. Because if that was the case, Gotti could have told this story a long time ago. Gotti could have made this public a long time ago. He's selling a documentary, so he has to do press on it. It makes sense, right? So, oh shit, I'll talk about Ashanti and me relationship. Everybody's gonna run and watch the documentary to see what really happened. You get what I'm saying to you, Johnny?
Yeah.
It's a fucking advertisement. We making it seem like he's this fucking predator. He's this like all this other shit that don't need to be. It just when women do it, when women go on press tours and they are like talking about their book and they're going into deep, we don't fucking call them predators. We don't say that type of shit about them because we all know it's so that they can get people to go and read their books.
That is true. But I'll say also, you think what plays a role in it is just people just have like people just look at Irv Gotti like a certain way. Like they just have like a certain view about him, and just him talking is just further their stance on how they view him. Like people just have like a set view on him. It may not be fair or not, but just people view him a certain way, and it's just set. Like that's how they view him.
Because I think we haven't gotten enough of Irv. Like I feel like Dame, yes. Like if we were talking about Dame Dash, I'd be like, okay, that we've heard him talk, and we heard him talk like degrading and all this other shit. Like when I see Dame, I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be a whole nother like, ugh. But I feel like Irv, we really didn't get that. We just got that Murder Inc. bubbly. He's always on the go. Like I feel like this is the first time people really heard Irv really talk, and it's like, oh.
No, he's been talking. He got a couple of interviews here and there. He got a couple of interviews where he's talked about, But maybe it's like
again. I think it definitely has a because of Ashanti, it plays a big part in him telling the story. And because she hasn't said nothing in response, they're like, oh, you just need to stop. But it's his story.
You know what I'm saying? I think that also plays a part in it. It's like also to the people you think who they like in your opinion, like who you think the people view as the bigger star. You know what I'm trying to say? Like Irv Gotti is this big music exec. He did Murder Inc. He's done plenty of things. Yeah, his accolades. But Ashanti was a big star when she blew up, and he had hands in that. You think people view?
I think it goes hand in hand, Johnny, because there would be no Ashanti if it wasn't for Gotti. Like
that's true.
It's just. But even if she's more popular, I just feel like when I think of Ashanti, I think of Murder Inc. I think of Gotti, and unfortunately, that's just even if she was to remake the album, even if she was to get her masters and remake the songs, in people's head, her music will always go according to Murder Inc. and Gotti. That's where and that unfortunately that's where her history, her music history goes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was saying maybe that also plays a role in, you know, people who just love Ashanti more.
I think they did a good job tricking people. I always thought Ja Rule was the one fucking Ashanti because the way they had that like love interest. But
chemistry on the song. Chemistry, like the chemistry in the music they was making.
Right.
But social media wasn't what it is. Well, social media wasn't existent at that point. In the beginning, right. It wasn't existent. And Murder Inc. as a label wasn't around when social media blew up, and
right.
There's a whole bunch of other stuff that took place now. So times are different. So I'm pretty sure if Shade Room existed back then, someone would have had like a picture like, oh look, Irv Gotti Ashanti coming out this spot or something at that time.
They would have.
But that most definitely would have popped up on the Shade Room or whatever, you know, sites that covered stuff like that would have definitely picked up on that and would have been a story to them. But yeah, he's telling a story, but I guess, maybe his delivery ain't the best, or people just have some, they just don't like Irv Gotti, but it's just.
Listen, I want him to keep telling his story, even if that means people don't like him. Irv, you keep telling your story.
But I'm pretty sure, but yeah, he has a couple more parts left in his Murder Inc. documentary, so. I'm gonna wait till all 5 parts is out and then I'll watch. I don't think I can watch it on like a week-to-week basis, like if I'm watching a TV show.
I don't know if I ever want to watch that.
So you don't know if you ever gonna want to watch it?
Yeah, I mean, we know he went to jail, had a court case. Did he beat the court case or did he do jail time?
No, that's a lot of the name of the episode that just passed.
They talk about Little Mo.
The name of the episode is called Foolish.
Oh, that's smart. He's a great. I'm telling you, he's a.
I was just looking at his 5 episodes. The most recent one was Foolish, and that's the one where he reveals how he first kissed Ashanti.
But if you think about it, he's smart.
Oh, he is.
But I like him. I mean, I personally like that he know how to advertise for himself. He know how to like sell. He's a good seller. That's my opinion. I know people not gonna like it, but that's just my opinion on Irv. I just think he's just telling his story, and it is what it is.
Telling a story. Some people not over it. Some people will. And then it is what it is. It's funny, like the way he told the story was hilarious. I laughed when I first seen it. But it was just kind of funny to me.
It was funny to me too.
But let's move on to. We're gonna keep music. A little more controversy. Well, first one could be controversial some, but the first thing we'll talk about. But this one is a little more controversial. Well, Swizz Beatz and Timerland were suing Triller because they said they haven't received payment that were owed to them for the verses. I think Triller's doing them. They're gonna work it out. Which thing is going on?
But when I was reading the article, I assumed, right? I don't know why I assumed, but I assumed that Swizz and Tim had their own like little verses. I didn't know it was still that, right? Because don't they pay the people that come on verses?
Mm-hmm.
Or some of them don't get paid.
No,
everybody gets paid?
Yeah, they all get paid.
Impossible, Johnny, because Ashanti, when Ashanti and Keisha Cole did there, they didn't get paid. I mean, Keisha Cole didn't get paid.
She got paid. They paid the artists through the verses. The payment comes from Swizz Beatz and Timerland, though. They paid.
So Triller pays them.
Pays who?
Tim and Swizz. Because that's what they're suing for, is back pay.
Yeah, because they brought verses to Triller, so.
So basically, Swizz and Tim don't own Triller no more.
So what?
That's what I'm asking you. So Swizz and Tim don't own Triller no more.
Nah,
That's what I'm saying. So
they
Triller pays the.
They never owned Triller. They own the verses. That's what I'm saying. They own the verses. They never owned Triller. Triller's his own.
Right. So Triller paid the artist. So why are they paying Swizz and Tim?
I think Swizz and Tim pay the artists, but they're paying for like the rights to stream the verses.
Gotcha. Yeah, when I was reading that, I didn't understand it. So I thought they were paying the artist, and the artist didn't get paid. So again, I don't understand. To me, it was dumb for them to go through them anyways. Why they didn't just go through YouTube? It would have been cheaper for Tim and Swizz to go through YouTube. Understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying that.
They would have made more money going through YouTube because people stream it on YouTube anyways. Most of the.
But I guess that was the better deal. Like they probably got the better deal from Triller, so that's why they went to Triller.
But that's what I'm saying to you. I personally would have thought they would have stuck to YouTube, just because it's a better streaming site. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. They're suing for a lot of money, Johnny. They're suing for a lot of money. And they and Drill already said they gave them a large amount of money. So it's the back and forth of who's telling the truth.
Yeah, so it'll be proven in court. You know, at the end of the day, the money will be proven in court, but
that's what I'm so I don't understand, especially with Tim and Swizz being who they are. I just feel like they didn't need to go through a third party to get their shit streamed. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is Swizz Beatz and Timbaland.
Yeah, but I think it was just they felt like it was the right move and it helped boost the verses because it gave people another way to view the verses.
Right, but then that should have been through YouTube, or they should have done a Kanye West and did their own website. You get what I'm saying?
Well, they probably wasn't thinking
and charge people like $3 like a house party to get in.
I don't know. That's interesting, but they probably wasn't thinking about starting their own site. They went to someone, they made a good deal, but I'm probably like on the business aspect, I feel like all that would definitely get worked out. Isn't it? It's like you can't really hide that you didn't pay a certain amount of money. The money they're asking for is basically the money they feel like it was owed to them. So it's like when you're talking millions, you can't really hide that you didn't pay them certain millions. So for the most part, all that get worked out. I feel like, but.
So my question is, do they? Hold on, Johnny. So no, my question is, so then do they, once they settle, right? Like, are they going to continue with these verses?
I believe so.
At this point, I'm tired of verses.
There's still some good matchups that we have.
But those matches are never going to happen, Johnny.
You never know. Can't say that.
We know, because they would have been happened already. They would have happened when verses was really, really popping.
Well, now everybody wants
Johnny, and you know I'm right. Johnny, think about it.
Was interested in the verses, and then they made it. And then what I think the original setup was dope, but then when they put did it like in a live arena, it made it better. But there's still matches to be had. It's just a matter of them getting the match it. It's the matchups.
Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna happen. It would have happened when COVID was at its highest and people was looking for the verses. Now nobody looking for that shit.
What was the last one?
It was Ray J.
Oh yeah, that shit was entertaining. I'm sorry, Ray J.
But look who they had to have on for it to be entertaining.
Oh yeah, and anyway,
they had like
Mario,
random, nobody
Mario.
cares about people, Johnny.
Wow, that shit was entertaining. That was a good verse.
It was entertaining. I didn't say it wasn't entertaining. It was entertaining, but it wasn't a good versus.
It was a dope verses.
It wasn't a good versus.
I think we all could agree it's a dope versus.
It wasn't a good versus. Music wise, all that, it wasn't a good versus. It wasn't. I'm sorry, Johnny.
It was very enjoyable. Entertaining at best. But no, it is what it is. There's still some versus matchups I would love to see. I think they could get their hands on those verses.
I don't think so. Not at this point.
Sit back, kick back, relax, and let them handle it. We'll get those verses. Obviously, there's some that's gonna be out the realm of possibility, but there's still.
But we ain't gonna get a verses until this lawsuit is completely done.
No, that's true, possibly.
I just don't think we're gonna get a verses until the lawsuit is settled.
I wonder what is the next verses.
There is no next verses, I'm telling you.
No, it has to be one coming up soon.
There's not. OMG.
It's definitely a new one. Hey, nobody watched that one.
All right, Johnny. Johnny, you're not gonna. They cannot until this lawsuit is completely settled. What are you looking at?
I see some type of a list of some, but
you're not gonna find it.
I don't see anything.
I know you don't.
Might be slow for the verses for the time being. Might be
guys,
slow.
like I said, Johnny don't listen. He's hard-headed. They're not gonna put a verses on until, because they're not gonna want to make money until this is settled.
So verses looking like they're gonna be on hold till they make an announcement. But hey, I'll be waiting. It still has my interest. Versus still has my interest. But we're gonna move forward. We're gonna talk about a recent study that came out that talked about lead exposure leads to low test scores amongst Black students versus white students. It's a study that was done, revealed that information. How do you feel about that information?
But we've done this before, where we realized lead in paint and lead in certain places, and usually in the low income communities, or what they call the ghettos. They tested that before.
It definitely did.
Right, and it was proved then that the apartments and the houses that these low income students stay at was failing, and their I think their brain capacity wasn't high. It was lower than the white children that was at these nice houses and didn't have any lead paint in there and all this other stuff. So why is lead still being put in paint and in certain substance that we use in the household? If this study showed when I was a kid And that was years ago.
But
I'm
look,
not gonna
look,
age up myself.
so Duke did this. Duke did the study. Duke University did the study, and they took 20. They said they took a survey. Based on surveying more than 25,000 fourth graders in North Carolina, data shows that Black students are disproportionately exposed to lead in racially segregated neighborhoods, and that stresses are linked to poor test scores. So basically, yeah, is lead is in the black neighborhoods versus it not being in the white neighborhoods. So in the black neighborhoods, the lead is exposed to the black students, while white.
Johnny, we've done this research before when I was a kid, and it showed the same shit. So unless we're gonna do something about it, unless we're going to um change the paint or change what shit has lead in it, I don't want to keep reading researches that prove that lead does cause brain damage or does cause low test scores or causes low grades in the black communities when we still continue to use the fucking lead in different substances that are in black homes. It just doesn't make sense to me. When I was reading this, I'm like, this shit. I remember being young and reading the same exact article, like the same exact study. It was done by different kids in different like schools, but I remember doing like reading the same shit. And then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna stop putting lead in this and this and that." And yeah, it's still in like the high substance, like in paint or in certain, I think like certain chemicals, like, and it's still being put into these black homes, and it's just irritating as hell.
It's crazy. Like they banned lead in 1978, and it still manages to find its way and do its damage. But you know, that's crazy. But you know,
It's
people
because a
want to
lot
stop.
of these old apartments, Johnny, don't want to scrape the walls off that old paint that they used with lead and start with a fresh new coat. You get what I'm saying to you?
But shit, yeah, they would have to scrape it. Yeah,
Right.
so that all that should come out and then put the new. Like they probably have to scrape it and do some other type of thing before they put the new paint on to make sure all traces of it is removed. But yeah, so I'm pretty. It was banned in '78, and I'm pretty sure there's still things pre-banned that's still around, and people still enter from time to time, and there's probably still lead residue in certain places. But yeah, this just proves that this country has some shit to fix, and it's saying see how it works. The black students is the ones that are um that seem to be exposed to it, while the white students, their neighborhoods all fine. They done scraped and cleaned all that shit out in their neighborhoods. But again, country gotta do better. They gotta fix that. And maybe we'll have better test scores and better students and overall, it will definitely have a better impact on these children's lives,
Right.
because they talking about the effects of low test scores, but who knows what else?
Right. What else lead can cause in the body?
What I'm saying, yeah. So they talking about low test scores, but they ain't touching on what else the lead could be fucking up and messing with in that child's body. So they got they're probably gonna cost money, but they gotta do something about that. They gotta go in there and clean those buildings out, those old buildings that still standing, make sure they clean it out well. We gotta do better, man. So
We have to. We have to.
now we're gonna move on to the story we've covered and been keeping tabs on. So it was officially ruled accident. Don't know what you're talking about for those that have been listening and watching us. So we're talking about the Alec Baldwin accidental
Right.
shooting on the set of the movie. I think it was called Rush. I think that was the name of the movie. But he accidentally shot one of the staff on the set.
Uh-huh.
Fortunately, she passed away, but it has been officially ruled an accident. You agree that it was an accident?
I think when we talked about it, I said it was an accident. I think what we should have put on trial was the person who handles the gun during like the break time. I forgot what it was called. He was, but I remember telling you that he should have been put on trial.
The person who answered it, I'm pretty sure I think he get involved in play anyway, but you know, it's just.
I think, yeah, I just feel like he should have been put on trial because personally, I feel like he had a little bit more to do with like handling the gun during the time of the break.
It just sounds like it's like I think whoever the person who's handling the gunfight, whoever was running that whole set should be took away.
Right.
Like reports of them trying to basically cut back on costs and whatnot. So it was walking like a thin line of like not using as much employees as they needed, or I'm not employees or staff, same thing, but as much staff as they needed.
Right.
Or too much, and trying to work around that. And obviously, tragic accident took place. But yeah, I still don't understand how that happens. Like how, how does a live round end up? I'm pretty sure if you go to the set and deal with people on set, there's probably live rounds more than what we hear. But they do their job, so we don't hear about crazy shit like this.
Right. I'm just happy Alec is off the because I really we really haven't seen him. He's been in a real like depression. I feel like it's gonna be a while before we see him in a movie again.
Maybe, and if he's in a movie, he's probably not gonna do anything nothing but like seeing like a gun or anything.
Right.
It'll probably be a time before he holds a gun, even on acting, like on some acting in the acting role, like, oh yeah, he's gonna hold the gun. I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be one of his requests for a while. For now, for the time being, so
Right.
whenever in time he gets over the situation. It just was a very unfortunate situation. It's just like it was a way you look at it was very poor handling. Like they definitely didn't handle that whole situation correctly and cost someone their life.
Right. It's just is a sad. Like
Yeah.
I feel so bad for her family. Now they have no like, they just can't say, oh, it was his fault. They can't say anything right now. So it's like,
I'm pretty sure they still gonna blame him because obviously at the end of the day, he was the one who pulled the trigger, even though it's not supposed to have a live round in there.
yeah. But when you have death like that, you want justice for the person who died. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they haven't got the justice.
Yeah, so we just honestly have to see how the rest of that plays out. But very, very unfortunate situation. My condolences again goes out to that family. Hopefully, with this official ruling, it can help them move past this. But
Right.
I'm pretty sure the next step after this ruling, the next step is to probably go after
The
caused the accident.
Yeah.
Ruled accidental, but they're probably gonna be like a civil suit or something along the lines, and damages will probably be paid out, and that's probably how this story ends.
Right, which I don't mind it ending like that.
Wishing the best, and hopefully all goes well for her. But Now we're gonna move on to my favorite guy. You know, we talked about him plenty of times. You know, he seems to be a topic of conversation. But I guess it went a little viral. Yeezy was transporting his bags and garbage bags. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Bags are bag. You gotta use what you got. I know he's a billionaire, but hey, bags are bags. You use whatever bag you want when you transport whatever you're transporting. Do you have a problem with Yeezy transporting his clothes in garbage bags?
Yes.
Oh.
Have you been to a Gap? Have you? I hate talking about him because it seems like I'm such a hater. But have you been to a Gap? Have you been to a Gap? Have you
Recently? No.
been to a Gap?
Recently? No.
Have you been? Okay. So
Not
I
recently.
went with one of my coworkers, right? Okay. I went with one of my coworkers, right? And she used to work in Gap. So we went by just to say, I guess, hi to her other coworkers. And we like see these fucking trash bags in the middle of the fucking store. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? She's like, I don't know. I don't work here. So I'm like, but why is it like that? And it was just like a bunch of clothes in these gigantic trash bags. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna even fucking ask. So I walked out. It wasn't until a couple of days later, me and her are like on the Gap website looking for something. And I'm like, this is Easy's clothes. Why? What the fuck? It's hard enough to find your size on a fucking hanger when it's hanged up nice. Now I have to rummage through a motherfucking garbage bag to fucking find clothes? Cause you want me to know what it feels like to be poor? Motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, I'm not rummaging it through that shit. That shit is not that. Yo, I've seen people like get frustrated and just throw that shit and just leave it there. The frustration, the inconvenience you give to your consumers who are buying your fucking broke ass clothes is beyond me. That shit is stupid. It doesn't even make sense because you want them to feel what it feels like to be poor, but yet you want me to look through this shit and buy it. The blessings of not being poor is good enough. And then you insulting the poor people. Like, who does that? And then your shit is not even cheap.
It's not cheap.
Asshole, so it's not even.
It's so, but
It's stupid.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought that's just how it was being delivered. I didn't know it was like how
Johnny, in the store.
Well,
in the store.
Yeah, but I thought that's how. No, I thought it was just like
no,
having it delivered to
no,
store garbage bags. I know
no.
that's how it was being sold. That's
yes, it's in large garbage bags. Like they huge. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. They big garbage bags, but they in the middle of the fucking Gap floor. So it's like, well, the one in Ridge Hill that we went to that one day, it was like free. Then we went to Quartz County and we was like, okay, because I had to go to a store in Quartz County. They have a Gap as well. And it's like 4 trash bags in the middle of the floor. And you just see people rummaging, throwing clothes on the floor. Imagine the Gap workers who have, like, you're so fucking inconsiderate. You don't think of the consumer. You don't think of the worker. Because now these Gap employees now have to go behind every client or every
I hold you. If I'm working in there, I'm just that spilled it. I'm just throwing it right back in the bag. I ain't doing the folding or none of that.
No, there's no folding of the clothes. Johnny is just thrown in the bag.
Oh yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care about that.
But Johnny, do you know the headache you have to like go through to find your size?
You know, it's funny. I just read a quote. It said a fan noted the irony of getting a $240 hoodie out of a garbage bag. Like, yeah, like the hoodie he grabbed out the garbage bag for $240.
Yeah, it doesn't give me poor people vibe. When I look through a fucking garbage bag, it doesn't give me poor people vibe. It gives me stupidity. I'm stupid for sitting here. Well, I didn't look through the garbage bag. Because I refuse to support that type of shit.
That's hilarious.
But to me, it's inconsiderate for the consumer. It's inconsiderate for the employees. It's inconsiderate just for the poor people he's talking about. It's a fucking inconsiderate, like, oh, I'm creative. So nigga, be creative in your fucking home. But don't be creative with people's times, money, and their energy. That shit is whack. It's hard enough finding clothes on hangers. Now I gotta fucking look through a bag for your shit to pay $100 and something. Yeah, you could kiss my ass. I will not be looking through no trash bags.
Oh, that's just hard. Now I might have to just go to a Gap just to.
Yo, just go to a Gap. Just go to a Gap store. Just and it has to be an outlet because they don't sell it at the regular Gap store. So you have to go to an outlet.
I might have to go to the Gap just to be like, oh wow.
You have to go to a Gap outlet. They don't sell it at the regular Gap.
Well, so yeah, I might have to plan that trip out and go witness it.
But see, your head is so far up Kanye's ass that you would look through the garbage bags.
I'm not looking through the garbage bag. I just want to see it to be like, wow.
Yeah, and you would look through the garbage bags.
Nah, I'm not going through no garbage bags. It's funny. So at this point, why should start selling Yeezy garbage bags? They gonna make money off that too. Watch. They're gonna start selling that shit and make money off of it. But
his fans are cults. I swear to God.
No, he does have a cult following. He's one of many people that have cult following. He's not the only one with a cult following.
He's the only one with the cult following.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
That's a cult. That's a cult.
What the fuck is that?
You know what that is? That's the bee.
I don't know what the fuck that is. What the fuck is that?
That's a bee.
Oh, she don't have a cult following, nigga. We just lure you. We lure you followers. That's how it works. You lure you. Fuck out of here.
That's a cult. The beehive is a cult.
Nah. We lure you. We just lure you.
Well, now we're gonna move on to a story. It's kind of funny, but it's funny, but not funny. But so this black professor who was selling their home removed his race from the application and watched the price of his home jump up $300,000 more than what it was.
Makes sense to me.
If he, oh no, it makes perfect sense to me. He ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm just saying it's funny, but it's not funny. It's just a funny, not funny story. Cause it's like that. What the fuck? That's some fucked up shit. Like, so I put my race down. Basically, I'm gonna jip me because my race, but I don't put my race down. They're gonna actually give me the actual value of it. That's what you're saying. That's crazy. That's some fucked up shit.
I mean, we do it as black people though, without even knowing it. So I think like even me and Devin, when we was naming Dorian's son, I'm naming our son. We just like we didn't want a very like black name because we didn't want when he put on applications to the job. One of the factors that went into his name was okay. We don't want it to be like it's a black name or he must be a black child or whatever the case may be. We want it to be that he get a fair a fair chance at just putting his name down on application. So that's how we came up with Dorian. But I think black people do it subconsciously, right? Just because we know how it works. We know that it
works
right. So we do it subconsciously. But that the fact that this guy actually did it to prove a point is crazy to me, and that it does actually happen the way that we think it happens. I was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess we weren't wrong. The minute you put your race down, it automatically is a no.
Yeah, so it's the same house. How
right.
The value, like the difference. I understand a difference of like 1,000 or 2,000. That's something that could be debatable. $1,000, $2,000 difference on the price. Why not? But how does a race create a big ass differential of $300,000, almost $500,000, almost $500,000 gap in the value of a home if you don't put your race on it versus putting your race on the application.
You know, I was reading this article to see if he actually sold the home, because I wouldn't want to put this article out until I sell my fucking home.
Which is understandable, but yeah, again, like you said, he might have been, I don't know, trying to prove a point or trying to figure out, you know, maybe obviously he has intent of selling his home, but he also has intent of proving a point as well. I think it said he was gonna file a lawsuit behind this. I think when I was reading, I think there was he was gonna file a lawsuit basically saying it's discrimination. But
right,
it's basically is discrimination because it's like you're messing up the value of my home because of my race,
right.
my skin color. You're devaluing my home, so that is discrimination. So I think he's gonna be filing a lawsuit. So he's gonna end up selling his home, probably get the value he is gonna get from the home, and he's gonna get a check for the discrimination because how you can't explain the $300,000 gap. You know, 1 to 2,000, 3,000, and the price range is debatable, so you could argue that. But $300,000, I don't see how you could argue, a $300,000 difference of him just not putting his race. So he's definitely gonna win that discrimination suit whenever he chooses to file it.
Right.
Crazy world, crazy world. Now we're gonna take it back to music. Diddy, was live, talking shit. It got pushed back from many people. Diddy said R&B is dead and asked who killed it, and he had conversations with other artists. He let everyone come on to his live, speak their opinion on it. Other people who wasn't on the live, everyone's have had their opinion on this. Is R&B dead? And if it's dead, who is responsible for it being dead?
Jojo Cat. No, I would say it's the female and male artists. There's the R&B singers who now just can't sing R&B no more. It's the ones that that they want to be rappers too now. It's that feeling. It's the R&B that you can't slow music down. You can't make it for a good 3 minutes. You got to put 28 songs on a record instead of putting at least 6 with good music. You get what I'm saying? Like, I remember the days where a fucking Janet Jackson record could come out and it'd be only 8 songs, but the songs last for 3 minutes and they were good. If you go back to Anytime, Any Place, that song itself is 5 minutes. But is it amazing? You can fucking play that shit all the way. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'll leave that shit up for 5 minutes.
It's shorter nowadays, so like 4 or 5 minute songs is not the norm anymore. That's just music
short with just ass twerking music. Like we forgot to be in love. We forgot what to be in love was like. And so that's why when Summer Walker came out on his shit, so many people ran and bought it. Even though it was man-hating music, it was more slow, more like that R&B feel that we used to get from Mary J. You get what I'm saying to you? So, is hip hop dead to me? Yes. Do I think?
Well, R&B?
Not hip hop, R&B. Do I think R&B is dead? Yes. I think R&B is completely gone. I think, like I told you before, before Beyonce came out with her album, if you remember, I said I want a good R&B album. I want her to produce a great R&B album where I'm on the road and I'm like, yo, this shit got me in my feelings. And it's just, nobody could do that anymore. Nobody can get me in that feeling. And I think that's why I still continue to listen to 90s R&B, because it did that for me. Now this shit ain't doing it for me.
I said one of the big people that spoke out against it was Chris Brown. He had a few things to say. He said R&B isn't dead, but he also blames the platforms for not creating a space for where R&B music can actually be played. So he's basically saying it's not the singers, it's these platforms that's not really constructed or given like the R&B music that everybody wants to hear, or like the real R&B music, the right platform will like for everyone to listen to it. It's not played on the radio, stuff like that. So you think Chris Brown had a point with him saying that is that like the same?
Yeah, because I think he said, if I remember the quote, he just said like, people are not trying to listen to slow music no more. All they want to do is people. He said people want to get fast food, but don't want a good meal.
Yeah, he said, yeah, people nowadays want fast food instead of a real meal. Don't blame the real singers out here because what channels do people have to see music videos? BET and Dance Show don't, neither does MTV, and then the industry be forcing shit on the people when the real music lovers know what the shit is. No, lovers know what shit is garbage. And he also said R&B isn't dead. Y'all niggas is just ugly. He also said that too.
That quote, I loved it. But I believe what Chris Brown said was right. People nowadays don't want good meals. They want fast food and they want fast music they can shake their ass to and then keep it going. And because of that, of course, as a person who's trying to sell their music, I'm not gonna make it slow when everybody wants to hear fast blah 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 blah, blah music, right? But unfortunately, you still got people out there who do want to hear the slow ballads, and they want to hear good R&B. Bring back the John B's and the 112s and the Boyz II Men and the pre Beyonce, the R&B Beyonce and Mary J's and the all those beautiful people. Bring Lauryn Hill and even Lauryn Hill, who was a middle artist, right? She would sometimes rap on Fuji's albums or sing. She was still to me considered an R&B artist. Like she did R&B. You get what I'm saying?
I understand. Like I said, I told you that's one way. It's just like the attention span now is just much different. People want to hear like the shorter songs, and that's what people gravitate to. Like the 4-minute, 5-minute songs. The majority is now listening to a 4-minute, 5-minute song. Not like they used to. It's like people is like the attention span is very, very quick now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with Diddy. I think R&B is dead, and we need to get to a point where we understand it, we absorb it, and we fucking change it. Bring back R&B. But then we have moments like when Genuine just danced that little dance, and he embarrasses R&B again, and it's like, or we have the time where Ray J, who people thought Ray J could sing, and now he can't sing no more. He goes on verses and he embarrasses us. Now we back to there's no R&B. See? So I don't know, but if we can, I would love to bring back R&B because I loved R&B.
Like I said, R&B probably. I don't think R&B is dead, but I'm pretty sure you just gotta go really look for the artists because obviously you're just gonna have to find R&B artists and you'll find the R&B music you're looking for. It's just again how Chris Brown said it. It's just not the platforms is not being presented for you. So because so that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it's dead. This is not being presented towards the masses. So if you go look for it, you shall find what you're looking for. It's just you gotta go out and find it. Chances of finding you is probably gonna be less than you going out and finding it because it's not gonna be on these platforms. You're not gonna see a music video like how we used to see it growing up, the R&B music video. But when the attention span fixes, I'll probably help boost all music. But you want that R&B, you gotta go find it. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of singers.
Oh my God, I shouldn't have to find it before it would just fall in my lap. Blow.
I'm pretty sure there's some R&B singers that'll give you all the feels that you want. That real, that R&B music that you want.
I haven't found it. I haven't found it.
Pretty sure there's I'm pretty sure there's R&B singers that we haven't heard about that's probably killing it in the R&B world. It's just the spotlight is not on them right now.
Right. Nope. The spotlight is on people like Doja. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop.
But she's still a dope artist, and she's just versatile. Versatile.
That's the problem. R&B artists all want to be versatile. Stick with to what you good at.
It's, every artist want to be versatile.
All right, whatever. I want my R&B back. I want to be able to do this. Can't do that with today's R&B. I mean, well, there is no today's R&B, but okay.
Well, this is still today's R&B because obviously today's R&B is just not what was yesterday's R&B. So this
Yeah, that's boo.
This is which one you like more. So we're going to transition to another viral clip, and if you haven't seen it, it's a clip of a rapper that should go by the name of Erica Bent. She visited a high school, and she, the kids was going crazy, and she went in front of a group of guys, and she twerked in front of them, and it's gotten some backlash from people. People wasn't feeling what she did, what you think what she did was wrong, out of line, or it's just her performing.
That shit pissed me off because if that was my son and she was doing all that, I'm the type of mom, I would be like, why are you doing that to these kids? And if it was a guy gyrating on a younger girl, we would have been like, ew, that's nasty, that's a pedophile. Mm-hmm. He would have got ripped a new asshole. But because it's a woman and we like, oh, that's cool, look at those boys. No, they're still too young for that. Chill out. They're a kid.
She could have did it anytime. She could have done any kind of dance, but I guess she wanted to put on the show, but it's just not the right crowd. Because at the end of the day, those are high school. If it was college students,
it would still be bad, Johnny. College students are not.
Don't say it wouldn't be as bad. It wouldn't be as bad because college students, a majority of college students are of age, while versus high school students, a majority of the high school students are underage. So, as I say, it would probably have been a little more different. It would have been received a little different. Obviously, there have been people saying, say what they're going to say, but it would have definitely been received different if it was in front of college students. But I understand she was trying to put on the show, but it was just.
Oh my.
No, I'm saying it was just the wrong choice. Wrong choice. It was the wrong choice.
It was more than a wrong choice. It was just, it was so not tasteful. The way she did it. Oh, when I watched that video, I'm like, why? Thank God that wasn't my son because she would have got popped upside her head. She would have been like bending over and I would have came and get the hell out of these kids' fucking face. Kids. These are kids. You are a grown woman. Like, I think it's such a double standard because if it was a guy, the guy would have been dragged.
Of course, if it was definitely a guy, definitely would have been perceived worse, and it would have been a whole line to cancel if it was a guy. Doing whatever a guy doing equivalent to a twerk. If a guy did a dance equivalent to a twerk in front of a whole bunch of younger females, yes, that guy would have been called out his name and definitely would have a lot of backlash. Probably more than what Ms. Banks is facing, but.
So why did she get away with it? It doesn't make sense. I hate double standards like that.
You know, it is what it is. You know, with that, it's just. I agree with you. It was just poor choice of.
If you was in high school and you was those boys, would you have danced with her?
You said
Well,
because it has nothing to do with the conversation.
It does. I'm asking you.
I'm pretty sure. Speaking for the guys, and thank all the men, all those young men, still enjoyed themselves, enjoyed that show.
That's not what I asked you.
Because they enjoyed it doesn't mean it was correct. What?
That's not what I asked you. Would you have said to her, "This is wrong, don't dance on me," or would you let her dance on you?
Oh, if I was a 17, 18-year-old kid, no, I wouldn't have said that was wrong.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure you
and that's the problem nowadays. As a 17 and 18-year-old, you don't think anything is wrong with the fact that a grown woman is dancing on you like that. If a grown man was to dance on me like that, I would know it was wrong.
Listen.
But I'm just being honest, Johnny.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying, what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure, I said they enjoyed themselves. Doesn't mean it was correct. And I answered honestly. Most, young men that age is most likely, majority of them is not going to say, "Oh, stop, this is wrong." No, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
That's just true. That's not going to happen.
Okay. And that's the problem.
I'm answering the question honestly.
And I'm telling you that's the problem.
You're not supposed to be doing that anyways. So you don't do it, it won't be anything. You know what I'm trying to say? It won't be anything. But she made the poor choice. It is what it is. But do you think? No, it's not. It's just something that is what it is. He just made a poor choice. And she'll be fine. You know, he'll move on. It's thing. She made a bad choice. It was nothing. You know, nothing. But like I said, the parents of the children parents of those children have all the room. They can say whatever they want to say. When they choose to have comments or say anything, they have the right to say whatever they want, how they feel about that situation. But yeah, I agree. I guess she's trying to put on the show, but she just did a tad bit too much. Just a tad bit too much.
I just don't. I don't. Okay.
And I should
I gotta tell you where it came from.
No, you just gotta finish the line.
Oh, okay. We could try it.
I'm saying I think I should have picked a little more pop.
Let's try it. If not, you're gonna edit that
out. Like the movie ones is much easier. The movie
Johnny, just go with it. Just go with it. Let's see.
I'm gonna give you the first one.
Guys, we entering a new segment. This Tuesday, Johnny came up with a game. It's finish the line from either a movie, TV show, or music. So I'm gonna try to finish.
Popular pop culture.
So I'm gonna try to finish the line. Let's see.
Now, I think you get all the movie ones correct, but
let's just see, John.
The movie ones was the easier ones. Total, I have a feeling we are not blank.
What?
Total, I have a feeling we are not blank.
Damn, it's not Arkansas. Wait. Kansas.
Okay, so finish line. Total, I have a feeling we are not
in Kansas anymore.
Oh, see, as I said, the first one, the movie ones was easy.
Okay, keep going. Let's see.
The second one, I see blank.
They're the people.
Well, see, I said the movie ones is easier. I picked the movie ones right. The third one, here's blank.
What?
Here's blank.
Ears? Like an ear?
Like I'm here. Like I'm here. Here is blank. Here's blank.
I don't know that one.
That's a popular one.
I don't know that one.
You got two, so you got one more.
What is the
You said what?
sentence, dum dum? Finish your sentence? Hear what?
It's two lines. It's two lines, and I said the first line.
What is it?
Oh, you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Oh, here's Johnny from The Shining. Jack Nicholson.
I've never seen The Shining. I don't watch scary movies, Johnny.
You ever heard that? But it's a pop culture line.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then number four one is, what's the procedure when you have a blank?
This is from Set It Off. I know that. But that line is not. Wait, okay.
The line is.
I know this comes from Vivica Fox. I know that much.
Yes.
Okay. What's the procedure? I think when you have a gun in your face.
I'll give you that, but what's the procedure when you have a gun in your head?
Oh, okay. Head, face. I know it's something. I know.
Yeah, no, you was right on the money. You said set it off. You said set it off. You want to go to the music ones?
Yeah, let's see.
I picked some, like I said, I picked some funny lyrics. I didn't pick popular lyrics. That was
Okay.
my downfall for the music ones. The first one is, have you ever seen crocodile seats in the truck, turn around and sit down, blank?
Say it again.
Have you ever seen crocodile seats in the truck, turn around and sit down, blank?
No, I don't know that one.
But you want me to finish the line for you?
Yeah.
The line is, have you ever seen crocodile seats in the truck, turn around, sit down, and let them bite your butt? Big time and still fly. That's lyrics from that song.
Gotcha.
You want to try another one?
Yeah.
Okay. She couldn't afford a car, so she named her daughter blank.
She couldn't afford a car, so she named her daughter Alexis.
Yeah.
Kanye West.
Yes, Kanye. You got that one. Okay.
That's one of my favorite Kanye West songs.
Wait
out, and it all falls down. That's one of my favorite Kanye.
This is a funny one. I don't know if you're going to get this one. Why are you sleeping with your blank?
What song is that?
It's a Destiny Child song. I'm going to give you a hint. Can you finish that line? Why are you sleeping with your blank? It's funny because I don't understand why they said what they said after that line.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
The line goes, why are you sleeping with your eyes closed? Destiny Child, Get on the Bus. That's the song.
I've never even heard that song.
Destiny
Okay.
Child, Get on the Bus.
Okay.
I for the last two music ones, I made it like, in that realm. So the next one will be, a diva is a female version of a blank.
Of a male hustler.
Well, there you go. And, Beyonce diva. So, yeah, I made it oriented the last two. You actually got a couple of these, I thought some of them was a little more difficult. I thought I should lean more to the popular route. But the TV one is the one I wasn't too sure about. All right, first line is, when you play the Game of Thrones, you blank.
I know this one. I just can't remember that line. Play the Game of Thrones.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you blank.
I can't remember.
So you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
So when you play Game of Thrones, you win or die. That was the ending of that. The second one I got, we were on a blank.
We were on a break from Friends.
That one was an easy one. That was a more easier one. This one, yeah, you might get this. The whore that jumped out blank.
The what?
The whore that jumped out blank.
What show is this from?
Reality TV show. When we was younger.
Is this Flavor of Love?
Close. It has to do with somebody that was on that show.
But I'm just saying
I'm gonna give you another hint. It was from the Charm School, Flavor of Love Charm School. The line came from Flavor of Love.
I knew it was for something because I remember one of the girls.
And I'm gonna tell you who set the line. See, I hope you remember. Monique set the line.
Right.
Monique set the line. The whore that jumped out, blank.
I can't remember. I know it was one she was saying it to. I think she was saying it to Bucky.
It was the pumpkin. Pumpkin, yes. She said pumpkin.
I can't remember.
It was the whore that jumped out, then jumped back in. That was the one. The whore that jumped out and jumped back.
I knew it was something. I knew it was something with the Flavor of Love girls.
So now, this one's probably easiest. I didn't watch the show, but I've seen this line or clips of this line. But we were all blank.
All in this together?
We were all blank. And I'm gonna give you another hint. Reality TV. We were all blank.
We were all played?
We were all blank.
I don't know, Johnny. These are regular sentences.
Some, not all, but the rest of the line is we were all rooting for you. How dare you? America's Next Top Model.
Johnny, my mind wouldn't think of that. My mind would not think of that.
I thought that would be one that you would get.
We're gonna try this again. I'm gonna do this to you because this made no sense.
Yeah, no, I actually wanted you to come up with some lines. The goal was the first one to three. If I didn't get three of yours, I'll lose. If you got three of mine,
I didn't understand how you wanted to do this, but you suck.
But you got a couple of them correct though. So that being said, that's a wrap on this brand new episode of No Shit Opinion Podcast. It's your boy John, my co-host Bree, and we are out.